David Crowley announces that he and Francesca Hong will jointly campaign together as part of a unity tour. And then also, David Crowley gives shout out to Francesca Hong and her campaign during his acceptance speech. I especially want to thank Francesca Hong. Her campaign reminded people across Wisconsin that there are no long shots when it comes to believing in a better future and fighting to expand opportunities to every family. The real opponent has always been Tom Tiffany. And I was like, surely this is just some kind of like, you know, bait posting for people to get angry on Twitter. Unfortunately, no such luck. After saying his policies don't differ from Hong's, Crowley announces unity tour with the Democratic Socialist. Wisconsin Democrat gubernatorial nominee David Crowley said on the campaign trail that there's not a lot of policies on which he differed from his Democratic Socialist opponent, Francesca Hong, and announced a unity tour with Hong the day after the primary. To be honest with you, there's not a lot of policies we differ from, Crowley told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel at a July campaign event. I think one of the problems I used to have in all these forums is that we're saying the exact same thing in different ways. And the question isn't related to policy. The question should be, who can get it done? That's the key, right? You no longer have any Democrat options that are not actual socialists at this point. And again, like, I understand this is a primary, as they're going to go against the Republican candidate, but it still boggles my mind whenever I hear people on the right who are like, yeah, we need to vote for these communists in order to teach the Republicans a lesson. There's no lesson that's going to be learned there, bro. That's not that, like, I understand if you're in a shitty situation like Ohio, I wouldn't want to vote for Vivek Ramaswamy either. I don't think his policies differ all that much from someone on the Democratic side. The U.S. Rep. Tom Tiffany, the Republican nominee for governor, pointed to Crowley's statements, posting on X that Crowley admitted his policies don't differ from Francesca Hong's socialist agenda. His record proves it, said Tiffany. He doubled the sales tax, raised property taxes, and can't even manage Milwaukee County's budget. As the nominee for governor, you have to do more than just point out that he said something that's true. Because, like, most people aren't gonna care. Let's shoot our balls off. That'll teach our brains a lesson, you know? Crowley narrowly won Tuesday's Democratic primary with about 39.8% of the vote, compared with approximately 39.4% for Hong. His margin was about 3,200 votes. Chat, your vote matters. Even if you believe it does nothing personally, still fucking throw it into the void, bro. B Jammin', thank you. It sounds like Crowley wants Hong's votes, especially since the DNC cheated Hong out. I don't even believe that it's him, like, faking to get her constituents to vote for him, because they're, like, the vote blue no matter who kind of people. The vote blue no matter who are more moderate Dems, the socialists, and the tankies will sit out the elections if they aren't pandered to. Really? I don't know. I never thought that those would sit out the elections, right? Because they're just like, well, we're either going to get our candidate in or we're going to corrupt the other candidate to our side, so. Hong conceded the race and endorsed Crowley, setting up a November general election between Crowley and Tiffany. Crowley, 40, has served as Milwaukee County executive since 2020, having previously served in the Wisconsin Assembly. Tiffany, 68, has represented Wisconsin's 7th congressional district since winning a special election in 2020. He previously served in the Wisconsin Assembly and State Senate and was a member of the legislature's Budget Writing Joint Finance Committee. Tiffany, who represents much of northern and western Wisconsin, has been endorsed by President Donald Trump. Well, look at that. 2 fully packed rooms, standing room only in the lobbies, in McKinney, Texas, showed up last night. This was on August 5th. McKinney, Texas, hundreds of residents filled City Hall to the absolute limit to say one thing: no more. The McKinney City Council heard them for over 5 hours and then voted 7-0 to approve the new massive mosque complex anyway. This is the video. This is the crowd. This is what happens when the people still show up and the politicians still don't listen. America is watching. And I think this is a point in the camp of, when you show up, when you get involved in your local politics, and your politicians look at you and say, well, why would I do what you say? What are you gonna do about it? And then do exactly the opposite of what you want the politicians that are elected to represent you to do. What options do you have left? When you show up locally, when you get involved, when you try to make your voice heard, and your politicians still say, fuck you, what options do you have? This is a horrendous miscarriage of everyone in a position of power in this room. McKinney city manager is disgusted by some at the mosque meeting. Praises the staff response. McKinney city manager Paul Grimes told city employees he was disgusted by some people who attended Tuesday night's contentious mosque site planning meeting and referred to sometimes mob-like behavior, while praising city staff for their professionalism and handling of the packed gathering, according to an internal email obtained by the Dallas Express. City officials had previously emphasized that the council's discretion was legally constrained once the site plan was found compliant. Grimes' internal message addressed that process, but also included his personal reaction. The August 5th message was sent at 4:19 p.m. by Amy Jeter on Grimes' behalf to citywide employees. The Dallas Express reviewed images showing the message open in the city employee's email client. DX granted the employee anonymity because disclosure could expose the source to workplace repercussions for sharing an internal communication. Grimes says the democratic process can get ugly. Our city became an unwitting host to a form of social angst that our country has wrestled with literally since the beginning of our republic. Candidly, it isn't always pretty. Sometimes it is downright vile. Democracy can be like that. And this meeting was a reminder that our democratic process can get ugly at times. Grimes wrote in the initial correspondence. Personally, I was disgusted with those who tried to use their own faith to attack or belittle another. While free speech is a fundamental tenet of our First Amendment, so is the freedom to worship one's faith, Grimes added. The email did not identify which speakers, statements, or actions Grimes believed amounted to using one's faith to attack another. Grimes thanked the city staff, police, and firefighters for helping manage the hours-long meeting. For that, I thank you. Whether you were part of the teams of staff that prepared and reviewed the subject agenda item, offered a hand during the meeting, or helped keep everyone safe as a member of the police and fire departments, your contributions directly help run a relatively smooth meeting amid unprecedented attendance and sometimes mob-like behavior exhibited by some members in the crowd. As previously reported by the Dallas Express, the McKinney City Council voted 7-0 late Tuesday to approve a 32,573 square foot mosque and Islamic center after more than 150 people signed up to speak. The council chamber and overflow room and city hall hallways filled with attendees as speakers debated religious liberty, Sharia law, traffic, and parking. The meeting included repeated boos, cheers, and confrontations. Police intervened after a woman confronted former Mayor George Fuller, who supported the project, and pressed a "Don't Sharia My Texas" sign into his shirt before officers separated them and escorted Fuller from the building. U.S. Representative Keith Self, Republican Texas, whose district includes McKinney, received a standing ovation before he warned council members about what he described as a progression from religious accommodation to political intimidation, and raised concerns about Sharia and political Islam. State Rep. Kirsche Richardson, Republican District 61, asked the council to delay action while citing state scrutiny of an Islamic tribunal connected to McKinney Islamic Association Imam Mohammed Al-Gabali. Grimes did not specify any name, Self, Richardson, or any other speaker in the internal message. So not only are your political representatives not actually going to do anything in your interest. In fact, 7-0. So they have every reason to vote against what the people actually want. They're going to rub your face in it, and they're going to say that you are the problem. You are the problem for not accepting something you don't want in your city. And we're going to do it to you anyways, because what are you going to do about it? Grimes praises the council and Muslim employees. City staff found the revised site plan compliant with the property's existing zoning and development requirements. Grimes praised city council members for approving the proposal. Our city council also deserves credit for patiently listening, evaluating the facts, and standing firm in approving a straightforward case amidst all the noise. Grimes closed the message by addressing Muslim city employees directly. Finally, to the city staff of all faiths, and particularly our team members who are from the Islamic faith, you are welcome here. Have no doubt that this organization stands in solidarity with the principles of freedom and justice our country was founded on. Just not for actual Americans, I see. We are one McKinney, and I have never been more certain of my pride in working in this organization with all of you. The Dallas Express contacted Grimes and Jeter Thursday afternoon seeking comment on the internal message. DX asked Grimes what specific conduct he considered mob-like, whether he distinguishes criticism of Sharia or political Islam from an attack on Muslims' religious freedom, and whether residents have a legitimate right to publicly raise those concerns even when they would not provide a lawful basis for denying an otherwise compliant site plan. Grimes and Jeter did not respond to our request for comment by the time of publication. I am shocked, I tell you. So shocked. Hundreds of North Carolinians have stormed a town council meeting to protest a proposed 5,000 square foot mosque in Mooresville, North Carolina that they were not told about. Multiple women got up to say that Islam was an evil ideology, and I personally say no to Sharia law. This looks like it says Mooresville. I don't know if I have any people in North Carolina in or near Mooresville, but this is coming to your town now too.
Examine closely whether the building of this mosque is right for this community. I personally say no to Sharia law and this Muslim center.
How can you serve and protect us when you can't even tell us about a proposed mosque in our backyard?
True.
There was a full house tonight at the Mooresville Commissioners meeting as the town considers a new mosque in the city that has been met with controversy. Many in attendance voiced their concerns about the new complex, with complaints ranging from traffic.
Now, see, I want to point out, almost everyone at the McKinney meeting, they were old. Almost everyone at this meeting, they're old, right? I see, like, maybe like this lady is only in her 30s or something. This guy over here might be in his like 20s or something, but for the most part, it's all older people. Everyone needs to get involved. You can't just leave it to people who are older. Like, this guy looks like my grandfather over here, man. It's good that they're involved, but you gotta get involved too. All they have to do is wait them out. Yeah, it's sad, and this is why I wanted to tack this on to the end of the McKinney story. It's sad because you saying no doesn't matter to your politicians. You have to give them a reason to actually listen to you.
Issues and a lack of transparency, as the potential property was not listed on tonight's agenda. The Board Commissioner responding to those citizens tonight, saying the property has been approved for religious use since it was annexed into the town limits back in 1998. And they went on to detail how much space the building would take up and encourage the community to continue to share their concerns about any proposed project.
That's kind of crazy that it was earmarked for religious purposes in 1998, and now for some reason is when they're deciding to build a mosque on it. Very, very confusing. So if you live near Mooresville in North Carolina, you gotta fucking stand up and say something here, man. Don't end up like McKinney with your do-nothing politicians voting against you. A teen convicted of attempted murder after throwing a grenade into a couple's home and killing the family dog avoids prison, despite the offense carrying a 10-year term. What even are headlines in Clown World anymore? Where the fuck did he even get a grenade from? A 17-year-old who threw a hand grenade into a Swedish couple's home, killing one of their dogs and putting both residents at risk, has avoided prison because of his age. Saudertorn District Court convicted Ayub Jafar Sharif al-Nasiri of attempted murder, aggravated destruction endangering the public, and attempted arson, according to MIDI Stockholm. The court assessed the crimes as equivalent to around 10.5 years in prison. However, because al-Nasiri was 17 at the time, he was instead sentenced to 2 years and 4 months in secure youth care. I am really tired of rehabilitative justice. I do not care about the age of the perpetrator. If you are attempting to murder someone, successfully murder someone, do something like a rape, you should just be taken out back and shot. That like, end of. Your life is worthless. You will contribute nothing to society. There is no reason to keep you around any longer if you are going to attempt to or actually successfully kill someone as a teenager. Like, I just don't care. I just don't care. You are a worthless individual. The court found that on March 15th, he threw a hand grenade through the window of a villa on Lugdetvagen in Vasterhanige. Samnit reported. I am butchering this shit. The grenade exploded in the living room, seriously injuring the family's 2 dogs. One later died while being held by its owner. I was completely busy taking care of my injured dog. She died when I was holding her, the woman told police, as cited by the Swedish news outlet, adding that there was blood everywhere. The 2 adult residents were inside but escaped injury, according to MIDI Stockholm. They did not initially realize a grenade had been used and contacted police after finding its handle outside later that day. The couple said they were unaware of any threats against them, and the attack appeared to be completely random or a case of mistaken identity. 2 days earlier, Al-Nasiri had broken into a cell phone store in Kalhal Jarfala, poured flammable liquid inside, and set it alight. Why are we forced to suffer these people? Why are all of us forced to live our lives at the behest of the bottom quintile? No one should have to live like this. This should just be an immediate, you are jailed for life. If someone had been inside, execute him. Not the person that was inside, the person that set it on fire, but like, holy fuck, man. The fire was extinguished before spreading to apartments in the building, leading to an attempted arson conviction. Al-Nasiri denied both attacks, but the court relied on cell phone data, taxi journeys, and surveillance footage to put him at both crime scenes. Samnyet reported that he was ordered to pay more than 480,000 Swedish kroner, about 43,900 euro, in damages. These are the new Europeans who will maintain the pension funds and make the line go up. If by maintain the pension funds and make the line go up, they mean hang the boomers from trees, I mean, sure, maybe. His parents were exempted from liability after the court accepted that they could not supervise him as he was in state care. Al-Nasiri cannot be deported because he was born in Sweden. G.S. Wolfwood, thank you. The scumbag likely got the grenade from his own well-supplied peeps, or one of the more unhinged biker gangs sold him one. That's insane, dude.
After careful consideration and reviewing the current eligibility guidelines, I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming WNBA draft in May 2027. I am definitely not here to mock, make fun of, or disrespect any community or personal choices. I am simply asking that the current rules be applied equally to everyone. The rules that represent the very values many WNBA players and coaches have publicly advocated for. My team and I are prepared to ensure these guidelines are applied equally, consistently, and without exception. And I look forward to the WNBA honoring its stated principles. See you at training camp.
Oh god, he's 6'10", 250 pounds. He's just gonna be like picking up the basketball women and dunking them through the hoops. What a stunning and brave picture of a woman. His femininity exudes from the screen. I made that Sam Hyde joke years ago at this point. Like Sam Hyde entering a women's weightlifting competition when it's not a women's weightlifting competition, but I'll fucking take it. Maybe the WNBA will actually have people watching their games now. Using Clown World against itself like some kind of political judo. I mean, that's pretty much what you gotta do. That's what has to happen. You have to use their code of conduct against them. I can't even call them principles because they don't fucking have any of those. Another former NBA player, Royce White, has declared for the WNBA draft.
I identify as sometimes identifying as a woman for purposes of basketball, professional basketball. So I'll be declaring for the WNBA draft in 2027 as well. I mean, I think I'd be unstoppable. But I'm...
You know, his beard kind of looks like the muff of a 70s pinup woman. So, like, it checks out. It checks out. I'm misgendering these brave and stunning individuals. I apologize. It's a little hard to get used to.
I'm a team-first guy. You know, I'm a pass-first kind of player. I do the little things. You know, I led my team in all 5 major stat categories at Iowa State University. So I do a little bit of everything. I'll do whatever the coach needs me to do. I'll do whatever the girls need me to do.
Yes, queen!
What is the reason for your decision to declare for the WNBA draft?
No, I think it's only fair. I think it's only fair. I see other great minds, other great
I love his hat.
athlete, political minds like Enos Kanter. Great minds think alike. And it's only fair that some of us some of us get a shot to play in the
That's
women's
true. He just
association.
needs.
I think I'd be
She
a
just
great
needs
fit.
his shot. Her
You know,
shot.
I still have low mileage as a player.
I still have low
and,
mileage.
And you know, I got the natural fair skin and the nice, you know, thick eyelashes and whatnot.
That's true. He does look like he has soft
I haven't broken out my
skin.
wigs yet, but I'm looking into some good ones. I don't know much about the wigs, but I'm looking into some. And I just hope that the bangs on the wig don't get into my eyesight, so I can.
Oh my God, she's just like Dylan Mulvaney when they started their girl journey. I hope someone can help them style their wig.
I can play like I need to play.
What would stop you from declaring for the WNBA draft?
I think the WNBA could come out and make a definitive statement about guys with a pair of balls playing in the women's association. But you know, hey, that'd be probably too much like right. So
That's true. That's
and
true.
unless they do that, you're very certain you're going to be declaring, right?
oh no, I'm declaring. No. And I don't want to be discriminated against. No, I want fair treatment. I'm a black, I'm a young black, hopefully United States senator that would like a fair chance to participate as a sometimes identifying as a transgender woman.
It's so fucking funny to watch people try to like use the buzzword soup when they're not used to it. He's just like, oh God, how many identity markers do I have to put in my sentence again for them to take me seriously? Hold on here.
Athlete.
How do you think the women players in the WNBA will feel about this?
Well, I think they're going to have nightmares, as they should. Yeah, I mean, I'm 260 pounds, 265 pounds, 6'8".
Well, that's just intimidating. You shouldn't wish for them to have nightmares. These could be your teammates, your fellow ladies. They should welcome you with open arms as a strong black transgender woman. You know, they should be hyping you up and saying, yes, girl, we're gonna give you a nice makeover and maybe you can teach us some pointers, you know? We can all get together like ladies.
Can palm a man's basketball probably as easily as any player in history. I think I had the third biggest hands in the modern NBA draft combine.
That's crazy.
In history of the modern NBA draft combine. So, yeah, I'm sure that the women's basketball is going to fare even easier to palm, which is a huge advantage. We saw that with Michael Jordan and other great players. So you know they're going to have nightmares, and they should, because I really feel like I'm going to be dominant.
If you make it to the WNBA, you plan to use the women's locker room and all that with them?
I mean,
yeah, of course.
I mean, I don't want to be discriminated against. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't I use the women's locker room?
Yeah, she's
I grew up playing basketball since I was about 5 years old, and a lot of women in my family. My little sister is a collegiate basketball player, D1 collegiate basketball player, and I've grown up knowing a lot of girls and women's basketball players. The great Nancy Lieberman was one of my coaches, Lady Magic over in the Big Three, and I have great respect for the skill of women's basketball. And even at the girls' level in high school, you see that the girls have to play a much more skilled game because they don't have some of the physical God-given abilities or natural physical abilities as the men. So I have great respect for the women's game, but there's a significant difference between biological men and women, and I think we've blurred that line, like we've blurred many other lines unnecessarily, and I plan to exploit that for my economic and athletic benefit.
Based?
You mentioned the other players.
Clown world problems require clown world solutions.
They're going to have nightmares about you. Is there any player in the WNBA that you think could match up well with you?
No.
No?
Maybe Enos. Maybe me and Enos should play on the same team. That'd be good.
What about that man that went to Russia and got caught with weed, and then we traded like one of the world's most dangerous arm dealers to get that fucking dude pretending to be a woman back? What about that one? Maybe that one, you know? Robothy, thank you. Slay Queen! I think for the first time in my life, I would watch the WNBA just to see what fucking happens here. When I'm listening to this, all I can think of is the fucking Globetrotter music that would play in like the Scooby-Doo episodes. I want to see an entire team of former NBA All-Stars playing in the WNBA. That's what I want to see too. That's what I want to fucking see.
The Twin Towers, right?
What?
We think alike. We both criticize China on the Uyghur Muslims. We both almost went to Kentucky. he went to Kentucky, ended up getting drafted without playing. I was set to go to Kentucky. I ended up at Iowa State, but maybe this is the how it was supposed to all play out. Me and Enes Kanter running off about 5-6 WNBA championships.
Did Enes inspire you to make this decision, or did you already have the idea?
I think I was first. I think his must have been today or yesterday. I was about 3 days ago. But great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. There's no time limit on these things. When great ideas and great opportunities pop up like this, you just got to jump on them and ride them all the way.
What happens if you go
ride them all the way, Dial?
Oh well, then I have to file a discrimination lawsuit, right? I mean that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a huge legal battle about discrimination if I can't play. I'd like to know what the parameters are. What exactly are the specifics? What criteria do I need to meet in order to be able to play exactly? I mean, is it just a wig? Do I have to cut my beard? Does my voice have to get a little bit lighter? Do I have to do this snip? I'd like to know the specifics of the criteria, and I hope they'll be able to defend it in a court of law. I'm sure their pals over at the NBA front office will be giving them some legal assistance. The attorneys over there.
Cannot wait for the next Bridge Smart brief. I so fucking hope they mention this shit.
They're at Prokshire and Rose will be giving them some legal assistance, but put themselves in quite a pickle here.
They put themselves in a pickle because they allowed Pickles on the team. He's hitting the nail 100% on the head. I'm a little surprised it's taken this long for them to call the bluff on the left. So brave, we need more women like her to step out of the shadows. Yeah, you can't keep a strong black transgender woman down. Ex-NBA player Royce White responded to the backlash he's received since coming out as transgender. I haven't even been publicly trans for 72 hours and I'm already getting so much hate. I just want to hoop with my girls in my feminine era. Why can't y'all be happy for me? He's so right. It's so hard to be a black transgender woman in current year. Not even publicly out of the closet for 72 hours, and he's already getting massive waves of hate. Renowned Vice journalist Anna Valens once said that Nyara is the transgender content creator leader, actually. So I hope that Nyara stands on business and comes out and speaks up about the hate that this brave black trans woman is receiving for wanting to play in the WNBA. This is advanced clown world. He's not your normal trans. He joined another former NBA player, Enes Kanter Freedom, in challenging the WNBA over their refusal to state that men can't play in women's sports. I'm transgender. I'm a woman. I identify as sometimes identifying as a woman for the purpose of basketball, professional basketball. So I'll be declaring for the WNBA draft in 2027 as well. We already heard the rest of that from his mouth, and I guess this is just showing some of his basketball playing.
Goes on between hockey and basketball.
We've got
nice
black uniform and Cheeto uniform.
Big men in together. Watch this. What the?
He's taller than most of the men on that court, dude. He's a giant.
That's unbelievable.
That's a massive lady. The hate takes so much more energy than just letting someone live their life. I hope you find your people and ball out doing it. I love this so fucking much. Holy shit. Someone replied to Fox News here saying a 6'8" guy suddenly identifies as a woman just to crush the WNBA. That's not inclusion. That's a grown man cosplaying to dominate women. Fairness isn't bigotry. Biology isn't optional. Do these things not understand the irony in their statement? And so Royce White himself, quote, retweeted it and said, trans hate. Why are there so many bigots wanting to keep a stunning and brave black trans woman down? Why are they like this? This is bigotry in action, trying to prevent her from playing on the WNBA. There's no such thing as a grown man cosplaying to dominate women. Why would they do that? That just wouldn't make any sense. How can they be so transphobic, especially towards a POC trans woman? Oh my good lord. Cantor was blackballed by the NBA for shit-talking China and calling out Nike and Michael Jordan for using slave labor. He also is wanted in Turkey for shit-talking Erdogan. He sounds kind of fucking based, actually. This person said, cis man enters the WNBA draft to mock trans women and women's sports, of which there are exactly 0 at the professional level. My question is, what did we do to deserve this mockery? And this guy said, what exactly did you do to deserve this? You spent years insisting that trans women are women, that biological sex is a spectrum or a social construct, and that anyone who notices male performance advantages is a bigot. You told us self-identification was enough. You demanded that women's categories, scholarships, locker rooms, and sports be opened on the basis of identity alone. Now a man is doing exactly what your rules allow, entering a woman's draft. And you're shocked that someone is using the loophole you created. This isn't random mockery, it's the predictable result of rewriting material reality to fit feelings. You engineered the premise. The punchline was always going to arrive. Yes, this is the logical conclusion. This is the end trajectory of everything that's been advocated for. She's overweight for a woman, so it's a double phobia. Oh my god, I didn't even think about the fat phobia angle. Frankly, they're lucky it's someone protesting the absurdity of this and not someone genuinely trying to dunk on the entire WNBA. I don't know if I have the tweet pulled up because I have a few more, but there was a tweet that said that America First Legal is representing one of these NBA players who's trying to draft for the WNBA. And I was like, hey, that's the fucking thing that kept doing lawsuits against DEI bullshit. So that's pretty fucking cool. So what happens if the WNBA actually drafts him? Whatever team he's on goes on to win every single fucking game he plays in, and everyone gets to see how exactly insane allowing this is. The WNBA is panicking. WNBA put out a statement in response to Enes Kanter declaring his eligibility, saying they won't be used as political pawns. Literal political pawn of communist bullshit says, no, you can't use us as pawns like that, no. The WNBA has a long history of being political pawns of the left, including a head coach wearing a trans shirt last week during a game. Their hypocrisy is on full display. A message from WNBPA leadership to everyone who loves this game. The WNBPA represents 200 plus individual people with different lived experiences, cultures, lifestyles, and opinions. We embrace justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Those are the values that unite this union and allow it to protect women's sports while creating transformational change. Well, I'm glad that means you'll be allowing those 2 new, brave, beautiful black women onto your teams. Hate, abuse, and demonization of any person or group of people, including transgender people, only fuel fear, division, and harm. We will continue to have hard conversations, but we will not be used as political pawns. Support the players, support the fans. At games, notify security if you witness hateful, violent, or abusive behavior. Online, report abusive posts and drown out the bots and bad actors. At home, tell your elected officials to strengthen Title IX. They do realize that strengthening Title IX in the way that they claim to want it strengthened with the justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion would make them even more at fault if they don't allow these 2 men to play on the team. Does this just, like, not even occur to them in their little fucking useful idiot brains? And there's one of the ladies wearing a Trans Kids Belong t-shirt, and then a bunch of people wearing Black Lives Matter garbage. But they do not have thoughts in their head, only slogans. Only slogans, man. This league is unserious, yeah. Yep, we are now holding you to your own standards. Get fucked. In light of Enes Kanter Freedom declaring for the WNBA draft, I, Alex Stone, have also made the decision to declare for the WNBA draft. Please enjoy my highlight reel from high school.
Will be joining the WNBA draft. I, Alex Stone, am also declaring for the WNBA draft.
He's got pretty eyes.
It is only right and fair and just that I may be able to participate in the WNBA because I just identify I played basketball in high school in Kansas City, Missouri, and one could say I was a certified baller or a certified bucket. I could dribble, I could drive, and I could shoot. And those three things are necessary for playing basketball, and I was able to do each of them. So please enjoy this highlight reel from my high school days, and please consider me for your WNBA team.
Basketball noises! Oh yeah! Yay!
Yeah, I have no idea who this guy is either. Is this an actual basketball guy? I don't know. Say a host of the Alex Stone show. Maybe he's just like a content creator taking the piss, but I hope he joins the team, man. Let's fucking go. Royce White posting this morning. Good morning. Just want to remind all my trans people and trans adjacent activists that you matter. I'm getting a lot of hate right now, but it's a journey. Pray for me, y'all. I'm new here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Royce White for U.S. Senate, Minnesota, 2026. Vote primary, August 11th. Live your truth. If you were capable of critical thought, you might have realized your timing is going to be a little off and your new name isn't going to be on the ballot. That's a solid chunk of Republicans, hateful assholes who won't vote for a trans woman. He needs to add to the trans flag to his Twitter. Yes, he needs to put the trans flag before the American flag, to really sell it.
I'm not kidding about this. I am prepared to buy a WNBA expansion franchise and locate them in Nashville. I pledge to have a 100% trans team, all men who identify as women. I will also employ a 100% trans coaching staff, the most inclusive team in history.
I don't know who Clay Travis is, but I hope he fucking does this. That is an amazing thing. Yes, please. We need the world's first 100% transgender basketball team. And they have to play in the women's league. WNBA coach says men should be able to play in the WNBA. Finally! Where is my franchise?
I think that these people are going to need to literally get the shit beaten out of them by trans people in the same sport that they're competing in order for them to realize how wrong they are.
It's just like Bezmenov said. You can show these people facts, you can show them proof, you can show them black is black and white is white, and they will not believe you until the boot is on their neck. Only then will they realize the error of their ways.
It's only going to happen when the South Park episode becomes reality.
Fucking amazing. I want to see the full team, buddy. I want to see the full team. We have a doctor in Ceuta saying, I don't know what diseases I'm bringing home. I can't even take my dog for a walk. Every day we receive reports of girls who have been raped. Absolutely! Absolutely. It's just that in our clinic, we're seeing 17 or 20 patients in each shift, but also, unfortunately, girls and women who report sexual assault. The clinic we opened for the triage of migrants is full with 47 or 50 waiting to be seen. And it's a completely unsustainable situation. You thought they all went home? Yeah. Yeah, sure. We are afraid, of course, that treating all these people, no matter how much protection we have, we don't know what they suffer from, what they have, what they're incubating. Literally calling them bioweapons. And we're also afraid of bringing it home because that's normal. We certainly took an oath to treat everyone, but the fear exists. Fear exists. And it's a situation that overburdens you because you're living this here at work, but then you go home and you also live it in the neighborhood. For example, in my neighborhood, I live in El Sarchal. The beach is full, the soccer field is full. I can't go out to walk the dogs because I'm afraid. Yeah, that's fucked up. They basically are weapons. It's getting real fucking crazy. Sexual assaults are rising. Thinks back to the women filming the invasion while smugly waving the invaders in. And there's another video here. Hundreds of immigrants advance through the mountains of Castilla Castileos in an attempt to stage a massive assault on the Ceuta border. A human tide of hundreds of males descends in formation through the hills bordering Fnidec, Castileos, advancing determinedly toward the borderline with Spain. The column skirts the hillsides in the direction of the security perimeter amid shouts and chants, while ground patrols attempt to position themselves at the lower access points to halt the avalanche. Oh my god, they're even screaming. Sounds like a fucking invasion in a movie. Did I hear a shot get fired, or was that just like a car backfiring? Information! Yeah, right? Yeah, right? What the heck? We have Spain stocks African enclave Ceuta with boosted security as Morocco monitors a call for second border rush. Spain and Morocco have beefed up security on both sides of the border in Spain's African enclave Ceuta as renewed calls circulate social media for Moroccan migrants to rush the border a second time, after an initial mass migration event in July overwhelmed the city. Soldiers patrolled the city's commercial and government buildings Friday, while an enhanced police presence was noticeable on Ceuta's main avenues. See, if their reaction the first time was to send like maybe 10 soldiers in and have them just stand there and do nothing, saying that they're going to beef up security is not going to be a deterrent. Ooh, you're gonna have more men in uniform standing there being told they can't do anything. Ooh, I'm so scared. Fucking pieces of shit. Soldiers patrolled the city's commercial and government buildings Friday, while an enhanced police presence was noticeable on Ceuta's main avenues. On the Moroccan side, security personnel dressed in all black patrolled the beaches of Fnidec, one of the most prominent launching points from which migrants illegally entered Ceuta on July 30th as part of a mass migration event that saw over 70,000 people rush into Ceuta from Morocco. The strengthened security followed calls on social media for Moroccans to again rush into Ceuta and into Spain's other African enclave, Melilla, on Saturday. The Ministry of the Interior has detected during the last few days the circulation of anonymous publications and messages on certain social networks inciting the organization of attempts at collective and illegal crossing into the cities of Ceuta and Melilla. Practices which carry serious risk to the safety of people and aim to instrumentalize migration issues in acts of incitement. I got some news for you, buddy. That's kinda what's been happening for like a decade now. Welcome to Zombocom. Which are criminalized by law. Doesn't matter if you say it's criminalized. If nothing happens, if there's no repercussions, it is merely criminalized on paper, but not actually a criminal act. It doesn't matter if something is a law or something is supposed to be illegal or something is even granted to you as a right on a piece of paper. None of that fucking matters if you're not willing to do something about it. Morocco's Ministry of the Interior said in a statement posted to the country's state-affiliated news website, MAP. Morocco arrested multiple people who circulated the inciting statements, Interior Ministry spokesperson Rashid El Khalfi said. The Interior Ministry also called on Spain to continue working to return the remaining Moroccan migrants in Ceuta back to the North African country. Of the more than 72,000 migrants who rushed the border, the vast majority have returned to Morocco. A citation needed, buddy? According to statements from Spain and Ceuta's government. Yeah, I'm not going to trust that. About 5,000 remain. How do you know? Genuinely, this is like during the peak of the crisis in like 2015, 2016, when governments were like, yeah, we know who we're letting in. And then rape and murder just started exploding everywhere. It's like, no, you don't. You have no idea who these people are. They're lying about their ages. They're lying about their backgrounds. They don't have correct papers. Like nothing that can be said about any of these migrants, it can be believed. Spanish officials have been screening the remaining migrants and have processed roughly 500 asylum seekers' cases, rejecting the vast majority of them, Reuters reported. Does the rejection even matter? Right? Because, as we've seen, some of them have crossed the channel to get onto mainland Spain, and even though some other countries have shut down the Schengen zone with Spain, do we really think these migrants aren't going to be getting to other countries? Do we really think that's not going to happen? Spain has also installed floating barriers in the waters migrants had previously swam across. So you gave them something to hold on to so that they can regain their strength and swim better on the other side of it? Thanks, I guess? At least 96 people died during the mass migration. Fox News Digital contacted the governments of Spain, Morocco, and Ceuta for further comment. Oh no, not buoys, my one weakness. It's like every decision is just like, what the fuck are you doing? You clearly want the collapse of your own country. Like, you're all facilitating it. You're just not saying it in plain speech yet. Ceuta Beach is now a disease-ridden shanty town. It's been utterly destroyed.
Ceuta is far from over. The media is not showing you guys the truth. Look at how big these shelters are here. There are hundreds.
This literally looks like a South African, like, shanty town at the moment. Like, if somebody showed me this clip completely out of context, I'd be like, is this closer to Joburg or Pretoria? I'm not really sure. Or Peoria? Peoria? I always forget how it's pronounced, sorry.
Shelters all along the beach, maybe 2 kilometers long. Fires, food, human excrements, human disease, tuberculosis,
Pretoria, thank you.
scabies, just to name a few. This is a really bad situation. The locals have been totally abandoned. Unfortunately, these people are also abandoned. They don't know their next steps.
Why are you sympathizing with them, you cock-ass shit?
They don't know where they can go. The Moroccans that are here don't want to go back. The sub-Saharan Africans that are here can't go back. Morocco won't accept them. It is terrible. Families can't go out that live nearby.
You don't have to sympathize with invaders, my guy. They're going to take advantage of that weakness, and it is a weakness. You must steel your heart, brother man.
They can't go out safely, especially women, young girls. It is just an unfortunate situation.
Face mask in 2026? To be fair, if I was going to enter this, like, I don't know what diseases you people have enclave, I'd probably put on a mask, right? Like, I don't think the one he's wearing is gonna do anything. You know, you gotta get one of those, like, respirator masks, you know?
And this is a place that was once a family beach.
What, well, women? There are no women there?
Here.
There are no women there, but, you know, he has to sympathize. He has to show that he's a good person, TM.
How you doing, brother? Man, I don't know. This makes me sad. This makes me sad, and I have to use the mask for hygiene reasons. I don't want to catch tuberculosis. So yeah, saying goodbye from Ceuta, Straits of Gibraltar right there, mainland Spain. Take care, everybody.
Oh my god, like, I'm gonna cope by saying he's saying that shit so he doesn't get attacked. That's my cope. You have to pass the excavator. This is how Ceuta was this morning. They turned the beach into a shanty camp full of people catching diseases. There's no right. You do wonder how much they actually bother to vaccinate for in the countries that they come from. Obviously, our governments don't give a shit what diseases they bring with them. Oh my god, are we gonna have our own version of smallpox blankets that we can bitch about for like hundreds of years now? These migrants are purposefully bringing diseases. They're purposefully infecting people, just like the smallpox blankets. It's not an accident. It's not that they don't know. The way he adjusted his mask makes you think it smells awful. It probably does. It probably really does. We have the shame of this. Women raped. Among themselves, they take them to the mountains. Where are the police that we have here? And the women that we have here from Ceuta, we have to be... Why don't they pick them up? I'm talking. The woman here. We have to live like this. To terrorize, we can't even go out of the house. This is unfair. What we are living is unfair. Get out of here. It's unfair. It's very unfair that we have to live like this. I'm glad that this was the next video in my tab because this perfectly illustrates her government does not give a shit about her. She could get gang raped in the mountains and then beheaded and her government won't give a single fuck. But if she calls this brown man behind her an invader, well, she's a bad person. It can't be. It can't be. It's a shame. And here you have to get up, Ceuta. the country. We can't live like this any longer. And I'm pregnant and I'm suffering. I have a child and I'm suffering, and it hurts that my city is like this. It hurts, and we have to get up. It can't be that they invade us like this. It's a shame. When I have to go out into the street and find this, when Ceuta has always been a safe city, a great city that we have welcomed everyone and we've always been well. You're a Spanish enclave on the tip of Morocco in Africa. You were always a flashpoint waiting to happen. The difference would be if you had a real government that cared about its Spanish citizens, they would have fought back against the invasion instead of letting this happen. Spain's government does not care about its people. Many such cases in our countries at the moment. All the other men just walking by and avoiding eye contact, cuck. It reminds me, once again, of all of the men who are just like, well, women wanted this, so you can deal with it, good luck. Men aren't gonna fix this issue. Well, then it's never gonna get fixed. It's never gonna get fixed. Women will not, cannot fix this. Even if you have a handful of strong, logical women who want to fix this, they are not going to be able to. Men are needed to fix this. Men are the architects of society. If men decide to give up and allow barbarian hordes to rape and murder their women, well, they no longer deserve those women, and they also no longer deserve their society. They've checked out of it. You can watch it crumble. Congratulations, you're part of the problem. My soul hurts. My soul is torn from the inside seeing my city like this. The women must shut up and stand aside. Hard to fucking agree. Hard fucking agree. We see all of the issues from women put into positions of power that they have no business being in. You need the strong men to come in and be like, you know what? You're actually not in this position anymore. Get out. You're fired. Good luck. And they can't even go to the beach, the children. It's true. Men have spent the last 20 years being told women don't need us. Why should men help, Kirsche? Because if you extrapolate the feminists who have been screeching about we don't need men to every single woman, you are dooming all of Western society. You might as well just open the gates and allow Sharia law to take its place right now. Or allow the communists to take over, whichever one's going to get in power first. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. It's very obvious that men are necessary for society, and if all men decided to stop working and stay home, everything would fucking grind to a halt. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna buy propaganda from communists that have taught women that they don't need men? Are you gonna believe the dumb women who say that they don't need men? Or are you gonna be the strong man to say, you know what, shut the fuck up and I'm gonna fix things? Who go to the marina and they have fights everywhere. The places where we take our children to play, we can't do anything. Impotence. Men won't fix anything until society stops demonizing them. If men are the architects of society, you are the ones who can fix that. Men are the ones who can cause the demonizations to stop, just like men were the ones who allowed the feminists to gain ground politically. We've had generations of demoralization at this point, been going on way longer than 20 years. It has been going on way longer than 20 years. It has been going on way longer. And it's just like, every time I see a guy with the like, yes, all women kind of mindset, it's just like, okay, if you keep doing that, you're going to push away the few logical women that do exist, and they're gonna say, why should we help you? Why should we support anything you want to do if your opinion is giving us the middle finger and saying, fuck off, you can figure it out yourself? Why would there be any reason for any logical woman who wants to be on the right to actually align with you if that is your mindset? That's pushing more people into the like, okay, well, if I'm fucked either way, I might as well at least go with the strong men who are doing something. Time to convert to Islam, inshallah, brother. You're saying women need to do their part as well? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But it takes men getting rid of women judges who are obstructing things. It takes men stepping into these positions and saying, no longer are we going to be ruled by people who are going to go by kindergarten ethics. 10-year-old girl from Ceuta was raped. Residents of Ceuta now live in constant fear and are fleeing for mainland Spain. You can ignore evil, but you can't ignore its consequences. This morning at 10 a.m., a 10-year-old girl from Ceuta was raped. It's just not right. We're scared. I'm scared for my kids. I'm genuinely scared. They were also telling us some families were sending their kids to the mainland. I don't know if you're aware, we've gone away for a few days, but we work. And my kids work too. I have my husband taking some people, picking up others, coming back, locking the door, arguing with my kids because they want to go out. I don't want them to go out. What's not right is that we have to live in fear. We parents are having a really hard time. I kept up with a Spanish woman speaking. I'm nuts. Ceuta has turned into a slum within a matter of days. Masses of migrants are living on the beach and building huts out of straw and cardboard. Our reporter, Henrik Robaum, remains on the scene and is reporting. So we have more video of the shanty towns. These poor umbrellas. Back when this was just Spanish land, I said these umbrellas were super fucking cute. Now look at them. Look at this guy fucking mean-mugging the camera. Not this black bald man, but there's another guy next to him. Look at him fucking mean-mugging the cameraman, dude. Why are the men letting this happen and not fighting back? What are the cops going to do if you hit an invader? Well, if you are an individual man and you defend yourself against the invaders, you're gonna get arrested, right? This behavior is normal for the criminals. It's not normal for you. The laws are there to oppress you and to allow the criminals to do whatever the fuck they want. It would take literally every man in Ceuta rising up and fighting back against the invaders at the same time in order for, like, none of them to have the fist of the law brought down upon them. And that's never gonna happen, because at no point in history has everyone just. The communists running Spain will arrest the Spaniards and send them to prison. Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Esta mierda me la suda. Me suda la polla. What did I just say?
Except that one time, 80 years ago. Maybe we can embody the spirit of that one time. Wait, 80 years ago. Was that the No, the Reconquista was far longer ago than that. Hold on, what are you talking about? We believe that only 5,000 stayed by. Yeah, there's no way it's only 5,000. There's no fucking way. They've downgraded from mud huts to grass huts. Yeah, I was gonna pause and I was like, you know, this wouldn't be like a bad shelter if you were stranded on a fucking desert island. But like, they're setting this shit up on a Spanish beach. This is ridiculous. This is insane. And you know what's more insane? I think about, like, if you end up camping in the wrong place, the police can come and be like, excuse me, you can't camp here. It's, this is some kind of protected land. You're not allowed to camp here. Once again, the laws are here to prevent you, citizen, from doing anything. The laws do not care about the actual criminals. You don't need every man in Ceuta. Organized minorities have always been in the driver's seat throughout human history. You would need a good chunk of people. Because if it was just a small band of people, the arm of the law would absolutely destroy them in the most vicious way possible to make an example of them and create fear for anyone else who decides to try and defend themselves. So you would need at least a good chunk, even if it's not quite literally every man. Just one little blowtorch would go a long way. That's true. That's true. The sun, the heat wave, it's horrendous. That's how California gets their forest fires. Need enough people to make it clear to people who are ready that it's not just going to be them getting killed? In fucking sanity that this has been set up on a beach. Why are you giving a thumbs up, you freak? There's this guy named Amjad Taha, Emirati expert in strategic and political affairs in the Middle East, author, analyst, researcher. I've not heard of this guy before, but he had a handful of impressions here, 1.7 million views, and I thought this was an interesting post. He says, "A letter to the West. Greetings! Stop confusing cowardice with tolerance. What you see as illegal immigrants is a pre-planned invasion of your country, without tanks or soldiers. There are countries that have recently poured billions of pounds into Muslim Brotherhood terrorists who became activists and citizens in your countries. Their job is to defend every criminal and be the lawyer of every rapist, and make sure all of those who are illegal become legal and become the next governor or MP, and later prime minister. This is a long-term plan. They use democracy as an Uber to power, and then complain about the destination. Look around you. They now protest against you and your Western civilization. They call you Islamophobic if you dare to mention Muslim Brotherhood terrorists, such as Hamas, or Sudan's Muslim Brotherhood-led army, which killed over 2 million Christians and 500,000 African Muslim children and women. They will control your democracy through dictatorial rules. This is something the majority of us here already know, and I've also been bleeding about for years at this point. The problem is, like Keir Starmer said, this has been done to you on purpose. Your politicians want this to happen. Even before those politicians get replaced with communists or Muslims, they want and allow this to happen, because they know that they will not feel any of the bad repercussion effects of when Islam or when fucking communism comes to power. I would say that they are a folly, and that when Islam comes to power, they absolutely will feel the repercussions, but they will be insulated if communism comes to power, unfortunately. And I very much agree, a lot of people who could do something, who are in a position of power, so not any of you guys here, to be clear, they are cowards. They are not being tolerant. Even if they talk about tolerance, they are being cowardly. Cowardice is why we cannot get the SAVE Act passed. Cowardice is why we don't have even more levels of deportation. We're getting things done. It's always going to be a slow roll based on how much damage has been done, but more could be done if there weren't people on our side who are completely afraid of doing anything. And I will also say, maybe sometimes it's not even afraid. Maybe it's just outright lying. Maybe they also want that to happen. Which is why people keep ending up starting a kind of, we're going to fix everything, like Nigel Farage, and then he just does a 180 and says, actually, nah, fuck you guys. A major problem with democracy is that politicians are almost certainly unaccountable once elected. They can and often will operate as though they already got their bag because they have. And we've seen more and more, politicians have always lied, but we've seen more and more people just completely misconstruing, purposely, their positions on things in order to get elected, and then once elected, they pull the, actually, just kidding, I wasn't being serious about any of that, and I'm actually going to continue destroying your area. Good luck. They discovered your greatest weakness. Your tolerance can be weaponized against you. Hey, what have I been saying for ages? Do not let people use your morals, your values, your standards, your beliefs. Do not let them use those things against you. If your principles lead you into nothing but being killed by your enemy, then your principles were worthless. They use your freedom of speech to defend Muslim Brotherhood terrorists. They use your courts to protect Hamas and Iran's networks. They use accusations of Islamophobia to intimidate critics. They use democracy as a ladder to power and then attack the very values that built that ladder, because the whole point was always to destroy that ladder. They do not like the ladder. They will abuse it and take advantage of you in order to get into power and then do everything to oppress you once they obtain that power. Yesterday, Muslim Brotherhood ideology demanded a platform. Today, it demands political influence. Tomorrow, it will demand that you remain silent. Stop confusing cowardice with tolerance. Investigate the Muslim Brotherhood, ban terrorist organizations, prosecute criminal financing, deport non-citizens who lawfully qualify for deportation because of serious crimes or terrorism, and never allow extremists to turn citizenship into a weapon against the country that welcomed them. We will never be a serious country unless all of birthright citizenship is completely dismantled. Your children should not inherit a country too frightened to defend its own laws, freedoms, and civilization. Oh, that kind of echoes my sentiment earlier. Democracy is not a suicide pact. Tolerance is not a surrender. Freedom does not require giving extremists the tools to destroy freedom. This is something that a lot of people seem to not understand. If someone looks you in the eyes and says, I don't believe in your principles or your standards, but I will use them against you so that I can use my standards and principles against you later, they are not someone who deserves the protections we have in the Constitution. They do not deserve the freedoms afforded to people who interact in good faith. This is exactly how you lose everything that you hold dear. Wake up, defend your country, defend your children, defend your civilization before those who despise it become powerful enough to dictate its future. Regards, God bless your beautiful civilization and protect it from extremism, terrorism, and backwardness. And then we have a retard down here that says, it's okay, bro. We literally have millions and millions of guns, millions and millions and millions of crates of ammo. Me and my family have a lot of that stuff and a lot of food and a lot of houses and a lot of land. Not worried about Muslims. They're all gonna die. This is just like a retard online LARPer. That's, I don't even have patience for those kinds of people anymore, man.